My name is Cyril Chauquet, and I travel the world chasing monster fish. This time, I'm in Nicaragua, Central America, in pursuit of one of the biggest fish in the world, the tarpon.
Big head.
Catching the tarpon is a real challenge. It's an intense fight, and you don't always win.
No! Era más grande!
Completely destroyed the lure. These fish are incredibly strong and can make huge jumps. Ooh. Landing a big tarpon can also be pretty dangerous.
Parece que reaccionó y boom.
He flipped over my boat.
I'm well aware of their brute force. But this time, I'm out to try to catch a monster tarpon.
¡Oh! ¡Es bueno, es bueno! ¡Sí! ¡Es buen sábado! ¡Sí! ¿De qué dónde?
If you think the roads where you're from are bad, let me tell you, they are not. This is crazy here. I'm actually on the only road that goes to Laguna de Perlas, per lagoon, on the Caribbean coast. With these roads, covering 60 miles is gonna take a while. But at the end of this road, there should be some monster tarpon. Tarpon are found mainly in the tropical Atlantic Ocean and can get close to 300 pounds and 8 feet long. They can also live in the freshwater rivers along the coast, exactly where I'm planning to catch one. After 6 hours of brutal roads, I make it to Laguna de Perlas, on the east coast of Nicaragua, along the Caribbean Sea. Here, people speak English, Spanish, and Creole, and this quiet little village is my last stop before heading to the town of Bluefields, the starting point of my expedition. But before I go, I want to find out more about the tarpon in this remote area. And the best person for that is McCoy, a fisherman from around here.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Good, and you?
Pretty good, thank you.
A few years back, these massive predators were still very present in this region. McCoy could catch a few of them per day. And one time, he had a close call with one of these giants.
One time I really need a fish to eat. I catch a huge tarpon with a small line, trying to fight the fish nearly 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours. Suddenly I feel my line, and I grab my line. So, well, this is supposed to be a big fish, a holy fish. When I look over yonder, there was a tarpon in the air from the sea. And that tarpon was so strong, it flipped over my boat. I get overboard.
The tarpon flipped the canoe and you fell in the water?
Yeah.
My gosh. That goes to show you that when you're dealing with fish this big, you know, he's talking about a 200-pound tarpon. That's a monster, that's a giant. You know, it's not you that controls the fish, it's the other way around. The fish controls you. That sounds like some fish.
Monster fish.
McCoy's story reminds me of another one I've heard in the Amazon, where a fisherman was pulled into the water by another giant fish, a paraiba. And you think there's still tarpon like that out there?
Yeah, we have tarpon meal out there.
I want to catch one of those.
I've been tarpon fishing for years, but it's been a while since I've caught anything you could call a monster. Recently in Cuba, I only caught a tiny one. Whew. And in West Africa, I had a big one on the line. Oh. But I lost it right next to the boat.
Yes. Whoa. Oh, no.
My luck just has to change this time. I'm heading to Bluefields, where tomorrow I'm scheduled to meet with Alan, a guy who's fished in this region before. Bluefields is the main fishing port on the east coast of Nicaragua, so I'm hoping to get some insight on the tarpon around here. But all I see so far are small fish.
That's pretty sad. Turtle shells. People eat turtle here, like in a lot of places in the Caribbean and around the world too. It's got to be respected though, it's part of the culture.
Hola, señor. Hola. En la tortuga se come todo.
Todo se come.
No se pierde nada.
Solo el excremento.
Pero eso es parte de la cultura, ¿no?
Es parte de la cultura, sí.
Se hace desde muchos años, ¿no?
Sí, de muchos
desde
años, hace tantos años. Que esta gente vive en nadie. ¿Ya? Y anda buscando el sudor para comer y sobrevivir, para darle de comer a sus hijos.
Y eso lo tengo respeto.
¿Ya?
This is pretty sad, but you know, everybody's got to eat.
I understand why people eat turtles here. It really is a question of survival.
Sábalo real, sábalo real.
Check this out, tarpon steaks. Big steaks like this. ¿Qué tamaño tenía ese?
150 libras.
150 libras. Mucha carne, ¿eh? Sabalo muy grande. ¿Qué tamaño tenía ese sabalo?
Grande, más grande que yo.
Más grande que tú.
Big head.
Really? Big head like this? Ciao, gracias.
It's confirmed, massive tarpon can still be found in the area. So I'm heading to check out the docks, where tomorrow I'll be leaving with Alan, the fisherman who's gonna help me catch one of these giants in the jungle rivers. That's it. Last gas and engine checks by the mechanic, and we're off looking for monster tarpon in the jungle.
The tarpon is really active in the morning and in the evening, but the morning bite, one of the best. But you gotta wake up super early like we did today.
It's really early, actually. It's 5 a.m. Alan doesn't exactly look too awake either. The plan for today is to go really deep into the jungle towards a little village, Sandy Bay.
It's beautiful this morning.
Word is that the fishing is really good over there. And on the way, Alan has some great spots for us to try. I tie on a 100-pound leader because tarpon are super powerful fish, and their rough, bony jaws can wear through even the thickest line.
This area is so big, there's so much water to cover that the best way to find the fish, to locate the fish, is by trolling. The idea is to cover as much ground as possible, as much water as possible to try to find the fish. And if we get a hit, that means there's fish around.
But for the moment, nothing.
Trolling makes me so sleepy. Fish on. La sorpresa siempre, ¿eh? Might be the jack, maybe a jack. It's a jack, huh?
Maybe Jack, yes.
Yeah, it's a jack crevalle. See those head shakes? Those movements there? Boom, 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 boom. It's very typical of a jack crevalle. Gracias. Right.
Yes, ay,
Pequeño Jurel.
sí,
Pego fuerte, ¿eh? Es decir que hay actividad por aquí, ¿no?
sí.
Jack crevalle, beautiful fish.
These fish have so much power and stamina. They're really strong fighters.
Sí, bien hecho.
¡Qué bueno!
Qué bueno.
Gracias. Buen sitio.
Buen sitio.
A jack is always a good sign because it means that it could be other predators in the area. So I'll make a few more casts to see what's out there. Since I just caught a predatory fish in this spot, I need to keep casting in the same area in case there's a tarpon feeding here as well. But not a bite, so it's back to trolling again. We've been burning in the sun for hours without a single tarpon bite, and we're really getting deep into this maze of rivers.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought. It's almost 100% fresh water. It's funny because we're fishing right in the forest, you know, in the river, and yet we're catching saltwater species, saltwater fish that come from the ocean.
And the ocean is pretty far. After a few hours of trolling, I'm really starting to lose hope. But all of a sudden,
¡Tarpon! ¡Tarpon!
Sí, tarpon.
¡Sí! Va a brincar, baja la caña, baja la caña.
I can tell by how fast the line is peeling off my reel. It's gotta be the huge fish I've been hoping for.
¿Está ahí?
Sí.
Está ahí,
ya,
mira,
ya
que se
viene,
mueve, se
mira,
mueve.
mira.
¿Qué dónde?
Sí, grande, mucho fuerza.
Brinca.
Brinca.
Oh, es bueno,
Sí.
es buen sabalo.
Sí.
That's a big tarpon.
Grande.
The size of that fish.
Está corriendo mucho.
No tengo más cuerda.
I'm keeping the rod tip on a low angle so the fish doesn't jump.
This fish took off so fast, I have almost no line left. I just hope it's gonna slow down.
Corre. Woo.
Oh no!
No.
No!
No.
Ya.
Es la vida, hombre.
Sí.
¿Qué puede hacer uno?
Vamos a buscar otro. Vamos a pegar otro.
Pegar otro, amigo.
Vamos a pegar otro.
I can't believe it. That was a big fish, monster fish.
It really hurts to have lost this huge tarpon. That was the fish I wanted. I still can't get over the giant fish I lost. Plus, there's no time left to fish today. We have to go and get to Sandy Bay before nightfall. There, I should be able to find some fishermen to help me find the tarpon I'm looking for.
Looks like we're here.
Sandy Bay is an indigenous mosquito community that has succeeded in maintaining a degree of autonomy here in Nicaragua. It's located on the Caribbean Sea, in what is known as the Mosquito Coast, and people here mostly make their living from fishing.
Man, I love villages like this. It's so remote. The only way to get to this place is by boat. There's no airport, there's no road. I just love it.
Obviously, there are no hotels here, so I'm sleeping at a village's home, which is even better. A hammock may not seem so comfortable, but I've slept in them quite a bit, and I can tell you, it's a good night's sleep.
I tie good nuts, but still, never know. All right. I even have a TV.
I'd love to take a quick nap right now, but I gotta meet with the chief of the community. He's the leader of a dozen little villages in the area. Word is, he wants to introduce me to the guys who really know the tarpon fishing around here. But most importantly, since the land here is managed by the Mosquito people, no one can fish in this region without their approval. But I've got a pretty good feeling he'll let me go after my tarpon.
Ok, entonces si hay una persona que me puede autorizar a pescar por aquí es usted, ¿no?
Sí, perfectamente, así no va a pasar nada, todo tranquilo, vas a trabajar y bienvenido a nuestra comunidad indígena.
Eso es un honor para mí.
Claro, hermano, igualmente.
Un honor de pescar aquí en su territorio. Oh, that's really cool. I think I just found the right person, actually. He's the chief of not only here at Sandy Bay, but all the communities, all the villages around here. So basically, he just said, yes, you can fish anywhere you want on our territory. And I'm pretty honored to be fishing here. That's really cool.
The chief advises me to go see Champa, a good tarpon fisherman. And one time, he got a little too close to a big one.
¿Qué te pasó ese día?
Bueno, mira, estábamos pescando y agarramos un sábalo como de 120 libras.
Grande.
Sí, claro, todo yo estoy liberando. Hubo un momento que se me resbaló, se puso de lado. Parece que reaccionó y ¡bum! Me fui por 5 segundos, volví a los 6, creo. Y cuando me di cuenta tenía azul golpeado y mi amigo preocupado. ¿Qué te pasó? ¿Qué te pasó?
Wow.
Estoy vivo, que es lo importante.
It's not the fact that these fish are dangerous or anything, you know, they're not a man-eater, but they're so big, they get so big and powerful that, you know, when you're handling them, things can get serious pretty quick. You know, like it happened to him, boom, you know, he got hit in the face.
That reminds me of the time I almost got knocked out by a big arapaima in the Amazon. The head shakes were so violent.
I can't believe it! Look at the size of that thing!
Wow.
Golpes de la vida.
Golpes de la vida. Ojalá pegamos un sábalo grande como este.
Pero espero otro
más.
golpe de la vida.
Eso no quiero, ¿no?
Ah, bueno.
Qué bueno.
So it's a go with Champa. And today, I'm really feeling it. There are tarpon here for sure. After all, we're so remote, the fishing pressure here is pretty low. Champa just spotted something in the distance. We gotta move quick. But after a few casts, nothing.
That's excellent. I love it. Cell phones, they're everywhere, even in the most remote places on the planet.
I'm really hoping that the boat's not gonna give in here in the middle of nowhere, because it could be quite a while before we see another boat passing by.
No problems with the motor here. Well, you don't really get to choose your boats here. You do with what you have.
But for now, we keep on trolling.
Fish on, fish on. That's a big fish. That's big, whatever it is. I'm keeping the rod tip really low because tarpon have a tendency to jump. So if you put your rod tip high, they'll have more of a tendency to jump. And if they jump, they can get off the hook more easily. Robalo or jurel. The way it fights, I know it's not a tarpon. It's either a jack or a snook. Jurel.
It's another Jack Crevalle, and I knew he was not a tarpon because he didn't give me a powerful run like tarpon usually do. But this poor Jack has some nasty bites on his body. Still, it's very sharp. I need my gloves to grab it.
Parece que lo mordió un tiburón.
Es un tiburón que la atacó, ¿eh?
Sí, creo, mira.
My gosh, look at this poor Jack. It's been attacked by a shark. It's missing part of the tail here. Look at that nasty scar. Same thing on the lower part of the tail and on the belly. I'm gonna put it right back in the water.
This poor Jack Crevalle has already survived the shark attack, so it really deserves to be put back in the water quickly.
Yeah. Disculpa por eso. Muy bueno.
Bien, bien, hombre.
Hey, mira, ese jurel. ¿Qué fue? Un tiburón, ¿no?
Pienso que fue un tiburón el que se lo quiso comer, pero...
Hay tiburón aquí, ¿eh?
Oh, creo que sí.
Es la confirmación que hay.
Está la prueba.
So it really looks like there's sharks in the area. And since the river here is almost 100% freshwater, they must be bull sharks. In any case, I can tell you one thing. This is not the kind of river I would swim across. So we've covered quite a bit of water trolling, and I've only caught a couple of jacks. I make a few more casts before nightfall. It's getting late though, and we've got to get back to the village. But I know that somewhere out here, there's a monster tarpon. Today's Sunday, and the fishermen don't go out. So it looks like the big tarpon is gonna have to wait until tomorrow. The good thing though, is that it's gonna give me some time to enjoy life in the village.
Esta la vaca.
Sí.
Here, when you want some milk, you gotta go straight to the source.
And from what they tell me, this cow is not easy going and has a tendency to kick people.
Hey, brava.
Sí, bravo. Cuídate.
I'm gonna get kicked in the face, that's what's gonna happen. No soy tan malo, ¿no?
Sí, sacaste poco.
Smells like cow. Gracias, chica. Gracias por tu leche.
For breakfast, there's nothing like a good glass of warm milk straight from the cow. And now, from what I hear, the villagers have prepared a surprise for me. A group of women from the community have come to perform a traditional dance, and the whole village has gathered to watch them.
Wow, I feel so privileged right now because the whole town is putting up this show just for me. They're so proud to have a foreigner in town. That is really cool. I'm really happy right now. That's good vibes. Good sign for the fishing. He's so good. Check this out.
After a great party, I'm invited back to the house for a traditional meal.
The main commercial activity of the region is lobster fishing, so guess what we're eating? ¿A ti te gusta la langosta? Sí, ¿eh? Señora, muchísimas gracias.
This morning, it's back on the hunt for a huge tarpon. Champa takes us to a new spot where we'll start trolling. This time, I really hope I'm gonna catch one.
Get. Fish on, fish on. Fish on.
¿Qué? ¿Sábalo? ¿Sábalo, Cyril? Algo con sábalo, ¿no?
No sé. Todavía no sé. Oh, snook. Robalo.
A nice little snook. These fish are delicious, and the captain knows it.
¿Lo quiere? ¿Sí?
Sí,
¿Para comer?
para comer.
Toma. Para la familia.
Gracias.
De nada, amigo.
Seeing that there's snook on the hunt here, I make a few casts, hoping there'll be a tarpon here too.
You see this? It's a bait ball. It's a lot of little bait fish like this that stick together against predators. They form a group, a big group, because you know the idea is that the more you are, the less likely you are to get hit by a predator fish. But it's just a matter of time before a predator fish comes around and attacks them.
I keep casting around the bait ball, hoping to get an attack. But not a single bite. So we're back to trolling. Trolling can be pretty slow, but it's super efficient. It can pay off big time.
Whatever it is, it's a big fish.
Like that one time I caught a big barramundi in India.
Oh my gosh! Oh. Fish on, fish on. Fish on. Whoa. A good fish, Champa.
Ya, esperemos todavía, ¿no?
I really don't think it's a tarpon. I think it's either a jack or a snook. But whatever it is, it's big. Jurel. Woo! Oh yeah, jurel. A gran jurel. Oh yeah, it's a big jack. Big jack. Aquí está. Se ve el amarillo. Ahora sí. Amigo, es buena. Mira, qué clase de pez. All right, beautiful Jack Rebel. It's not a tarpon, but who cares, you know, it's a beautiful fish.
Amigo, regálame pescado a comer.
¿Sí? ¿Lo quiere para comer?
Comer con mi familia.
No hay problema, amigo. Es bueno para comer, juré.
Ah, pues eso está gordo, mira.
Por eso te gordo.
Sé como todo el pescado.
Giving a meal to a family in the area is the least I can do for these people that have been so welcoming.
Hay sardina.
¿Sardina, viste?
Bastante ahí.
Así la veo ahí. Es bueno eso.
He cracks me up because he calls every single species of bait fish a sardine. Whatever it is, whatever the species, and there's a lot of species out there, but whatever it is for him, as long as it's small, it's a sardine. Time is slipping away, and nightfall isn't far off.
There were sardines here, but no predators around them.
I keep fishing till the last of the sunlight is gone, but still no tarpon. Apart from a few jacks and a snook, I haven't caught much. I can't believe I lost this big tarpon.
Corriendo mucho.
No tengo más cuerda.
It was a really nice fish, exactly what I'm looking for. Oh no! No! It really looks like I have no luck when it comes to tarpon. And I've only got 2 days left in Nicaragua to catch one. So the people of the village told me about the local shaman, a healer that might be able to help me out.
Well, I just hope he's gonna help me change my luck.
I might be a little superstitious, but the last time I saw a shaman, he was in Quebec, Canada. And right after, I caught a really nice lake trout.
Yes! Hola, señor. ¿Usted es el curadero?
Sí,
¿Sí? Hola, hola.
The shaman needs to conduct a ceremony with sacred plants. The goal, ward off bad luck and help me catch that big tarpon. He's rinsing my soul, pouring the water he boiled the sacred plants in over my head. That was some experience, and I do believe in it. But this morning, I have my doubts. A violent storm is on its way, and it's gonna be almost impossible to fish in this area. With only 2 days left, I can't let it slow me down, so I have no choice. I need to set sail.
I'm headed to the San Juan River. I hope I'll have better luck over there. But one thing's for sure is I think I'm leaving this region here at the right time, because as you can see, the weather's not so good right now.
I need to cross a good part of Nicaragua. I feel like I've traveled to the end of the world here, but besides catching jacks and a snook, I still haven't caught the monster tarpon I'm looking for. Oh no! So I'm on my way to another spot, southwest of here and further away from the bad weather on the Caribbean coast, near the town of San Carlos. It's a 6-hour drive, and by the time I get there, I'll only have 2 hours left to fish today.
Yes, the San Juan River.
This part of the river is far from the Caribbean Sea, but surprisingly, big tarpon lurk here. Quite a few years back, I fished this river with a French expat named Philippe Tissot, and I caught a pretty nice tarpon.
Whoa, the size of that tarpon.
This time, Philippe has put me in contact with 2 of his guides.
Hola.
Excellent local fishermen.
Soy Cyril. ¿Cómo está?
Bien.
Tranquilo. ¿Cómo está la pesca?
Buena.
Hola.
Hola, mucho gusto.
This is it. I'm back on the Rio San Juan. And Philip told me that it's still a great spot to catch tarpon. And big ones too. But given the strength of these fish, it's not a done deal. So we tie some really strong knots that can take their powerful accelerations and violent jumps.
That was a pretty nice cast. He says he's been fishing for tarpon for 10 years on this river.
And after a couple hours of trolling,
Fish on! Fish on! Fish on! Fish on!
it looks like my luck is finally turning.
Se fue. Ah, era bueno también. Ahí está. Sí, 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 está.
Ya está.
Está brincando.
Unbelievable. I thought I lost this fish, but he was coming right to the boat. Sí, así. Gracias, amigo. Profesional, tú. Wow. Buen chavalo.
Está poco enganchado, ¿no?
Sí, está encima.
The tarpon is barely hooked right here, right on the tip of the jaw, so he can get unhooked at any point. So that's why I'm trying to keep as much tension on that line as possible. I don't know if it's the shaman, but it worked. It's a big fish. Whew. Cuídate que tiene todavía mucha fuerza.
The fish is at the boat. The fight is almost over. And now, Andres grabs the leader to bring the fish in.
¿Se fue?
Sí.
Oh, no.
Sí.
¿Aquí?
Ah, sí, es que venía escaso. Yo te había dicho que estaba escaso.
Sí. Completely destroyed the lure. It broke the back part of the lure. Look. The power of this fish. The battle is never won until the fish is at the boat, especially with a tarpon. They have such a hard mouth that it's really hard to get a good hook set in a tarpon's mouth. Bummer.
Vamos por otro.
Me gusta mucho tu actitud.
Hay que ser bien positivo.
Bien positivo, eso.
Claro.
He's got a good attitude. I like that. Almost. Had it to the boat twice, but the thing is, it's such a critical moment, you know, that last final phase when you grab the leader, the end part of the line. It's there's so much tension in that line that a simple movement of the fish's head and boom, he's off the hook, and that's exactly what happened. ¿Se fue?
Sí.
Oh, no. But at least the fish is off the hook, unharmed, and I'm off for another one. Vamos por otro.
Hey, la pesca está muy buena. ¿Ah?
Gracias, amigo. Muy buena la pesca aquí.
Sí,
¿eh?
buena.
El capitán, manejas ese barco como un profesional.
Vamos por otro.
We just got caught in this old net on the bottom. Not only are there still a few dead fish in it, but some live ones too. They got caught trying to eat the dead ones. It's a pleco, a type of armored catfish.
These fish are prehistoric. They have a defense mechanism that is really interesting. Look at the pectoral fins. They can lock up in position, right? Let's see, now I can't move that pectoral fin. It's a bone.
And this bone makes them appear much larger. And also, imagine if you're a predator trying to eat them. You don't really feel like getting it stuck in the back of the throat, so you learn to leave them alone.
The only problem with this fish is that it's not supposed to be here. It's an invasive from South America. Apparently it does a lot of damage to the natural environment here. So it's unfortunate for that fish, but we can't put it back. ¿Y este pez? ¿Hay mucho aquí en el San Juan?
Sí, hay muchos. Nos causa mucho problema.
¿De por qué?
Te come los huevos y además, donde habita él, otro pescado no puede llegar.
There's no way I'm putting a harmful species back in the water.
Así es. Ayudamos el medio ambiente.
Sí.
A good fish.
It's not the first time I've come head-to-head with an invasive species. Back in Florida, I helped fishermen track snakehead, a super aggressive predatory fish that hurts local fish populations. But the fact that it's so aggressive makes for a really good fight.
Oh, that's a nice fish. And I guess it's pretty obvious where they're called a snakehead. The head looks pretty much like a snake. My God, the teeth in that fish's mouth.
But the day isn't over yet. I still have a few minutes left to fish, and I'm planning on making the most of them.
¡Qué bueno! ¡Ve, es grande! ¡Sí, es grande!
All right, that's a big fish.
Grande el brinco.
Grande, ¿eh?
Sí.
Va a saltar.
Va a saltar otra vez.
I can feel the line rubbing against some branches on the bottom. I don't like that.
I gotta go easy, because the line might be damaged and could snap at any moment now.
Sí, es más grande que el primero que agarraste.
¿Sí? 150, ¿no?
Un poco más.
¿Sí?
Sí. Es muy grande.
Oh, no.
¡Ah! ¡Era más grande!
La línea se quebró.
Se quebró la línea.
Set.
Losing the tarpon is hard to take. It was a really nice fish. It's the second big tarpon I've had on the line today. And I even got one right to the boat. But now, we need to call it a day, because we're not allowed to fish on the Rio San Juan after 5 p.m.
Well, today was a pretty good day. Now let's hope that tomorrow I get to actually hold a monster.
We get to the lodge to spend the night. It's owned by Philip, the guy I fished this river with years ago. But before hitting the sack, Philip gives me a little pep talk.
Il fait combien ce tarpon qui est au mur?
Celui-là, il fait 120, 127.
Ça dépend des jours.
Oui.
En tout cas, moi, demain, j'en veux un. J'aimerais en prendre un au minimum comme ça.
Bon, la vérité, je suis pas inquiet, moi.
Let me tell you, if I catch a fish that size, I'll be pretty happy.
On va faire un deal, OK? On trinque au tarpon de demain. OK.
penses, toi?
Non, non. Tiens, bois un coup, tu le prends demain, OK?
Today's my last day in Nicaragua, and I'm feeling the pressure to catch a big tarpon. But we have a problem. The motor won't start. We're losing precious time here, because right now, early in the morning, is really good for tarpon. After a few tries, they get it to work. These guys are really good. Now, we just gotta hope it won't die on us.
Got a good feeling. Today is the day.
Well, it better be today, because it's my last one in Nicaragua.
Hoy es el día
Es el día de pesca hoy.
de lo grande.
De lo más grande hoy vamos a agarrar. ¿Te gusta este?
Es bueno porque se ve como sardina, ¿no?
Sí,
Natural.
bueno, es natural.
Fish, fish.
Big fish, big fish. We got engine problems though. That's not good. ¿Está bien?
Estamos bien ahí, perfecto. Es una buena pelea. Es con este pez.
Sí.
Sí,
Es grande, ¿no?
es grande. Y empezando el día con 130
no!
libras. Oh, no, amigo, ¿cómo puede ser?
No lo sé, amigo.
Así es la pesca. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Vamos por otro.
¿Qué pasó con el señuelo?
That's tarpon fishing though. You gotta be ready to lose fish. You know, their mouth is so hard, just like I told you. It's so hard to get a good hook set. It's part of the game, you know? They get unhooked, they get off the hook.
Another tarpon lost. I hope that yesterday isn't gonna repeat itself. The engine problems are getting worse. I'm not sure about the shaman's sacred herbs after all.
He's making a call to get another boat because we're having serious problems with the carburetor.
Thankfully, another one of Philip's boats comes to the rescue.
Sí, tú eres bueno con la mecánica.
I lucked out on this one. I was thinking that's it for the fishing, but no, they have another boat available. Gracias, amigo. Gracias. Si tienes problema, te recogemos aquí. Vamos a estar pescando en la zona de todas maneras.
And we're off trolling again in our new boat, the Tigrillo. And after only a few minutes,
¡Sábalo! Ya está.
Es muy bueno. ¡Qué grande!
Here we go again.
When the fish wants to run, you don't want to stop it. You want to let it run because there's no way you are going to overpower a fish this size. Just let it run, and eventually it's going to stop.
Es un buen sábado, ¿no? 140 libras.
Está fuerte todavía, no creas.
This is true teamwork. The captain is doing a great job at keeping the fish at the front of the boat so I can find it from the platform here. Muy buen capitán.
Yo, un buen luchador.
Ese joven, pero tiene mucha fuerza.
Sí, está un poco pegado. Tiene fuerza, ¿ah?
Tiene mucha fuerza.
Sí.
Este que está aquí.
Cuidado, atrás.
There's a small nick in the line there. I don't like that at all. Got a good look at the fish. It's not a monster, but it's a feisty tarpon. I mean, it's not a monster for a tarpon, but for a fish, it's a big fish.
the line is wrapped around its fin. It might snap.
Seen that fish? Come up to the surface to breathe air. Because tarpon, they're fish, so they breathe under the water just like any other fish, but they also have the ability to come to the surface and use their primitive lung to breathe.
And each time they do, they get more energy.
That's why the fight with this tarpon is so long. I don't like this moment. It's very critical, you know, like it's when we grab the leader and bring the fish to the boat. Wow, aquí está.
Manténgalo ahí. Ahí. No le tenga mucho la mano en la mandíbula. En la parte de abajo. Ahí está bien, ahí.
Yes! Tarpon, my friends. Here it is.
This tarpon has used a lot of energy during the fight, so I'm helping it regain its strength before I let it go.
I'm gonna swim with it a little bit.
Muy bien, mi amigo. Perfecta liberación.
Gracias, amigo. Muchísimas gracias.
Buen pescador.
Looks like the visit to the shaman worked. The pressure is off, and I just hope I catch a bigger one now.
That's a big fish. Unbelievable. We're not catching tarpon and all of a sudden, boom. ¿Es más grande este?
Sí, es más grande que el otro. 160.
160 libras.
Sí.
¿Sí?
Es más grande.
Come on, fish. Man, the shaman, I love him. I'm gonna go back and visit him, for sure.
¡Brinca! ¡Muy bueno!
¿Es grande?
Sí, es más grande.
It's so beautiful when this fish jump out of the water like that.
That's it. The fish is at the boat. This is the critical moment. We either land it or we lose it.
La tenaza. Sí. La tenaza.
They're removing the hook right now.
The fight is over. We've got the fish. And at about 160 pounds, this is a pretty big tarpon.
Yes! Check this out! That's a tarpon right there. Muchísimas gracias, amigo.
Buenísimo.
All right, let's get this baby back home.
Excelente. Bien hecho. Bien hecho. Ah, amigo, se fue Champín también al agua. Ah, eso sí es muy bueno. Ah, bien hecho.
He's the best captain out there.
I came to Nicaragua looking for a big tarpon.
Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on.
But once I found him, I kept losing him.
¿Se fue?
Sí.
Oh no! Aquí?
But I kept at it, and at the last minute, I caught a nice tarpon.
Yes!
And then a second one, even bigger.
Es más grande.
On top of it all, I met some amazing people along the way. And believe it or not, I'm sure the shaman had a lot to do with my change in luck.
I don't quite know what that means yet, but I'll find out. It's part of the culture, though. I'm gonna get kicked in the face. That's what's gonna happen. The thing whether you're playing soccer here, you gotta avoid the cow pies.